What do you mean you haven't told her? I don't want her to know. What are you going to be doing? Lying in the hospital? You want her to find out that way? Why? I know how I felt when my mother died. And I don't want to put her through that. Dawn, can you talk some sense into her? Not only is she sick, but she's sick in the head.
Can we please just take a break and calm down? Please. They're right upstairs.
Okay, cool. This is fine. I'm bringing your...
She's 16 years old, and she deserves to know. I'm not going to let you put me through that.
What do you think? She's not going to feel any type of pain?
Right.
I've seen many cases like this. Kids committing suicide every day over their parents.
What's happening? Yeah.
Okay, and we're almost... I hope that we hear you on the live.
You're not going to be able to hear me.
Sounds like your mother.
Hear me
Really
now. I'm on
upset.
my phone
You
now.
always have something to be
I
upset
see
about.
that.
Boy, shut up. You don't even know who your mother is.
Why are you
Kind of
always trying to disrespect?
Because you're always disrespectful.
Because the people won't be able to hear you.
So then we got a
That's
problem.
right. I'm going to raise them right.
Did you do it instantly? Because we're always
Because I had my
I'm
phone
going
on
to stay here for a little
hear you.
while.
I never could
I'll
hear
catch up
you
with you later.
computer. It was through my phone.
I can't troubleshoot it. I'm not sure what the frequency.
Hey everybody, welcome to
got-
Facebook Live.
Tell them we got some
Welcome to Transparent Thursdays. How is everyone? It is good to see you. We are in fact having a little audio technical difficulty. So what I need you to do is let me know if you can in fact hear me. And if you can hear our guest, you see him there. He's right there in the studio. Hi, Darryl.
What's happening? What's happening? How you doing?
Good, good, good. Check on your end and see if people can hear you live.
Hey, can you guys hear me live right now? We've got a little bit of audio technical difficulties here.
One moment. Let me pull you up here. I'm so excited that I have you on. It's going to be a good show tonight. It's always a good show when you have a lot of difficulties. That's just TV crazy, right?
Comes with the territory.
It does. It comes with it comes with all of that. What the world? Lord to Jesus. Okay. Let me find you. Let's see. So I can hear you. I see you clearly.
I can see you.
Very good. There's a playback on your end. Can you turn your...
That's because
Okay, this is odd. First of all, we've got to get you savvy on the lives, digital. Filmmaker.
I'm on it.
What in the world is going on? Can you get a microphone hooked up? It's something.
I tried every microphone, 3 different computers.
Wow.
You know, and
I have a professional audio gentleman here, my partner from Miami, and he is having difficulty getting connected. So I don't know if it's within the program itself.
Did you?
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask Danielle. Can you hear Darryl Spaniel? Can you hear Darryl? Okay. Let me ask Spaniel. It says we sound good. Okay, so I'm gonna turn you down. Turn your volume down so you can hear me. We're gonna get going.
They can hear me?
Yeah, they said they can hear you. It was good at first, Dr. Cooper, but I've got feedback. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Hightower. I love you, man. I do. Are we good, guys? Because this is a good conversation tonight. This is a good conversation tonight. First of all, I want to welcome the Darryl Jones to Transparent Thursdays. You know, this is something that I recently started doing, going live on Thursday nights, and I've been reaching out to folks that I talk to normally, or I haven't talked to in a while, and ask them would they be willing to come on and be transparent. And with that being said, I had to reach to you because we've been working together. I hate to start naming numbers because you know I don't like to discuss age. And I know you just had a birthday, but we have really been working together for decades.
Yes, we have.
And so when I tell you this feedback, Darryl, I'm sorry. Can you turn your device down just a little?
Okay. Hang on 1 second. Let me turn it down for you.
Y'all are not going to believe in a whole film studio.
Yeah. Is that better?
Sound people over there and everything. We cannot get this together. My God, from Zion. What in the world? I can't hear you, dear. Turn your volume up a little bit.
Listen, we just turned it down and we're going to turn it back up. But why don't you let me do this? Since they say they can hear me and you can't hear me, why don't I call you and we can talk over the phone and keep everything live, and that way they can still hear what I'm saying.
Darryl, your earpiece is in, sir, so I can't hear you. Turn off your Bluetooth, Darryl.
I'm telling you, I don't have one on.
Turn your Bluetooth off so I can hear you.
Let me just type something to her because she's.
Good deal. Start talking.
I'm here. If you
Still
can't
hear nothing. This is going to be crazy. I am so mad about right now. That's okay.
We're going to get it taken care of. So let me do this real quick. Hang on. Just bear with me.
So when we do this, yeah, Jamel says she can hear you, but I can't hear him, Jamel. So I don't even know what he's saying.
So let me do this. Hang on.
If you put your earpiece on, I'm still not going to be able to hear you.
Yes, you are.
Y'all, we've been doing this for 30 minutes. Hello, speaking clearly.
Now watch this technology.
Darryl Jones. Yeah, no. Darryl Jones.
Answer my call.
I can't hear you, man.
Watch. Take my call.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can hear me from the phone. There you go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. Bless the Lord. Okay, so here's the deal. Everybody, I hope the feedback is not horrible. And we're going to keep on going because we have a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of ground to cover, a lot of things to talk about for over 3 decades. This is crazy. And why has it been this long that we have taken to do this? Because every time we work together, every time we work on a movie, I'm like, dude, let's go live. And you're like, no.
You know, this live thing is not what I do because I love being behind the scenes, behind the camera.
Poor excuse. And you know me. And you know me. You know.
That's that ham side of you.
Well, it is what it is. You know, I own up to it. and I let it work for me instead of being bashful, instead of being shy and coy and all that. This is my space. I love it. But that being said, I want to properly welcome you. I mean, certainly you are my brother, you are my friend, you are my coworker, and we have transitioned in business. We've transitioned in the industry, and somehow we have still found a way to work together on multiple projects. And now we have moved forth into the whole DIP Global Media and whatever A.Renee does, actor, coach, and actress, and all that good stuff, producer. And we just work together. It's hard to find where people can do that and still remain successful in this dispensation. So with that, I'm very grateful. Guys, what you don't know, and the reason why I've been trying to get Darryl on is because he is decorated. Like, for real, last year, he was a nominee and winner of several film festivals as a director of photography. You know, industry is the DP. And this film is called Meant to Be Broken. You can find it on IMDb, or is it on Netflix still, Darryl?
It's coming to Netflix and other social media platforms. So we're still working with the deal for it.
Yeah. I'm starting from the end because then I'm going to go back to the beginning. But, you know, just to let everybody know, they won the Sydney Indie Film Festival. And interestingly enough, watch this, guys, just because he was listed in the film community at the film office, they contacted him because he had equipment available and he was a DP. To come and work on a film. And so this film, how many cities did they film in for the entire production?
Yeah, we covered 12 cities.
Yeah. So it was just on Humble. This wasn't even him being sought after, sending in reels and all of that. It was a Humble. And when they found him, they found this one-man show with body cams and everything, all the equipment that they needed. And so, you know, the film community in Richmond is still developing. And so he was able to come in and assist them with the film, and then started to go to other cities, and film was done, and they started entering into the festivals and won multiple nominations. So for that, I am very proud, very proud, very proud. It is very good. So I'm telling you, here's the thing. When people see you now, they don't know the story behind that smile. They don't know the story behind the suit. Because one thing we know about Darryl Jones, he is going to wear a suit and a tie. He is going to set the record straight. That's how you show up, period. No matter what. But here's the thing. I have firsthand been able to watch your process. So I want to talk about being a fellow Washingtonian and, you know, growing up in DC. Tell us about your humble beginnings.
Oh man, it was difficult. You know, I come from a socially disadvantaged family back in the day when drug and alcohol was a big part of DC market. And my parents, unfortunately, became trapped in that cycle, and they really fight to get their way out of it. I was about maybe 6 or 7 years old at the time, and I really most of my life at that age, and you know, just really trying to survive, trying to put my life together, and you know, at that age, you still trying to. You were a kid, so you really don't know. Like, pretty quick. Throughout my reign of elementary school, my mom,
to a thrift store. That's the first time I discovered a camera. And when I picked up the camera and I asked her what it was,
that moment I knew I was going to be at that point in time
for the rest of my life.
and
at that moment as well, that's the thing that I knew was going to save my life.
So, just going through the whole DC experience of the homelessness, the drugs, the alcoholism in the family, just, dysfunctional family. And, as a kid, you don't know what's going on, but you know something is, but at the same time, you're just trying to, survive the hunger pains, the nighttime mayonnaise sandwiches, and, you just do it. But once I found the camera, that began to change.
That's such an amazing story, Darryl. I mean, like literally at that moment, you had no idea that just a humble Saturday and a stroll through a thrift store and finding a camera would end up.
Right. And we went there to get school clothes for school. That's where we got clothes from. At that time, mom couldn't afford all the other stuff. It was either your brother's clothes or the thrift store. And that stroll changed my life.
That is, wow. It has moved me. I mean, I think that would have been the greatest. Would you consider that to be the greatest gift and legacy that your mother left with you?
Oh, absolutely. And my father, no matter what he was the disciplinarian.
Yeah.
And he was the one who said that if you're going to do something, then you finish it. Starting to finish it.
And then, at that point,
it's like
I remember that as a child, everything that I wanted to finish.
So once I put the camera, I know every instrument that I had. And I started to really study. Against all odds, I was going to the library card.
Wow, that's amazing. So that was your younger years. So by the time you graduated from high school, how did things change and move forward for you from there?
Well, the thing that I decided that, when you're young, you're 16 and the drugs, the street life, and that's what you're used to, and your family, your friends are all caught up in it.
Yeah.
I had a mind back then. Back then, either I was in the streets of DC, or I was going to go and live my dream. So once graduation came, I gave myself a choice. Either you're going to pack your stuff, go to New York, and if you go to New York, you don't know anyone. So you either make it or you're just going to die. Because if you're going to die anyway, you might as well die trying.
Wow.
So
turn your phone down just a tinch, Darryl, because Terry says there's some feedback. Hey, Terry Witt, we gonna get to you, Mama.
we gotta leave, Terry. That's a part of the history as well. I mean,
it is. We're gonna get to it. So here's the thing, Darryl. Right about that time, that's when we connected. I was in, what pageant was that? That was Miss Capitol Hill.
I connected with you a couple years earlier than that, though.
Yeah, it was one of the. I think from I was set from 17 to about 22. I was in pageants, so I remember one of the pageants that I was in. I remember not placing. It must have been Miss Capitol Hill. I was a runner up. And at any rate, we met at that pageant, and I think they had hired you to come in you were like one of the press photographers and so forth. And so immediately we connected. Like, it was like, okay, you got the camera, I'm in front of the camera. But here's the thing. Remember, and it was not too long after that, we started doing photo shoots together.
Like immediately. Our chemistry, and then, you know, with my struggle of the life that I was living, it's like your mother and you were my family. And when I became your brother, was adopted in, your mom made sure everything was straight. I mean, there was days that, you know, mom made sure, you know.
Yeah.
And you speak on me, and it's like, what are you doing today? It's like, yo, I'm not, well, no, you need to get your camera and come down. So we started taking pictures pretty much immediately, because at that time, it's like I was getting the money for the streets, but I had the camera.
Yeah.
And you weren't even a part of that life. You was like, look, man, I don't want to hear all that stuff. But then and it's like, either you're gonna take these pictures, or, you know, we just did it. We made it work. You know, your family support as my sister and from your mom is what really set the tone.
Yeah.
It set the tone. It changed my life, basically, because you had all the attributes of that, the lifestyle, you know, the secure life, you know, parents were going through it at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I went through it from the time I was born up until the time I was 16. My parents didn't even know what grade I was in or how old I was.
Wow.
So, you know, and I remember alcoholism swept through the family, and, you know, and it swept my mom and dad. But I remember when they came in and they looked at us, asked us, you know, how old we were, me and my brother, and they just decided they were going to stop drinking. And they hadn't drank in 20 years after that.
That's amazing. That's the power of prayer. God does things.
Then it was time for you and I to make our move. And I remember at the times when, you know, we started doing the work.
Yeah.
I loved it so much that I was like, I'm not going outside anymore until I make it.
Well, I was totally on the other side of that fence, because I'm telling you, I was a party hound at the clubs. I was about that work, but I was also about that party life. And Darryl used to say, I'm not going out until I make it. And that's where that relentless grind comes in with you. And that has stayed with me. That has bled over into me. That relentless grind, no matter what, make it work, make it happen, no matter what, stay at it. Now, what you guys don't know is when Darryl got to New York before I did, because I still needed some security. I was not trying to live, you know, I like my middle class lifestyle, excuse me. But here's the thing. We started building careers for other people that we don't get credit for. There were models, girls that we would take from fashion shows. So the piece that the audience may not know is I used to design clothing. And so I would design the clothing, grab the models, Darryl would photograph them. And so Darryl would take the photographs and take the girl to the modeling agencies. And this was what? Don't tell them what year. Was it in the 80s? Oh my God! Woo, Jesus. But here's the thing. We were so cutting edge at that time. And the industry was very stringent then. So it was very much of who knows who are you,
Yes.
all of that stuff. And we were like busting in doors. Listen, we here.
And the doors that were slammed in our face, we would stand at the next person opened it.
Exactly. So, you know, time after time after time after time. But we still never gave up. And then in addition to building careers for models that got put on and got lost in the sauce and forgot about us.
But they got the contract.
Who?
They got the modeling contracts.
They got the contracts, right. Now let's talk about music industry, Because from photography, you never let the photography go, but then you started managing artists. And one of the artists is on here live, Miss Cherry Witt.
My very first, actually my
artist.
second recording artist.
Okay.
Right before we left for New York.
Yeah.
For New York. So that was quite an experience of how we met, and how we, when I heard her sing, it was like, wow. And
Cherry's voice is melodic. Jamel said we were definitely before our time. Of course, Jamel was involved as well. She would do the accessories. I would design the clothing, do the hair and the makeup and set up the photo shoot. Darryl would shoot it, and then we would put it somewhere. I don't know, send it somewhere, whatever.
But hold on.
Yeah.
You weren't just a designer. You were a mere designer. I'm talking park, fashion week designer. Hotel shows. This is back when we were 17.
The Black Caucus. Remember the Black Caucus? The year of the Black Caucus, Darryl was there in the press junket with all the other photographers, and my clothes were the premier clothes on the runway, and all over all of the papers. And remember, we did Jamel and I did the things with the records on the head and the records on the clothes.
The first one to do it.
Honey, it was hot and popping.
This is before Ebony Fashion Fair came to DC. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
This is back when Howard University Crampton Auditorium used to host the show.
Exactly. Yes. My God. My God.
We live
every single day, 24 hours a day, fashion, entertainment, and we had DC lit. DC was lit. We were doing things before, like when I see people do stuff now, it's like we've been there and did that.
And they think they knew.
Oh, yeah, they don't even get it. They don't even understand it.
Not at all.
And she was the first main recording artist that we had put together as the package and the grind, and she's family, so that's my girl right there. So we went to the show and producers. She was at Howard University at the time,
right?
Studying music at University at the time. And Sherry, help me if I get this wrong. So you gotta fill in the gaps because I'm a little older now. My mind ain't as much. I can't remember as much.
Wow, that's crazy. Here's the thing. Now let's move forward with the artists, because there were artists that you had record deals for. There were artists that you get them all the way to the record deal, and then they, back out. I mean, what was that like for you? Because that was a very trying time.
It was a struggle. That's when when you're growing up in DC and you got struggle, and then you get to New York, people don't realize that when you're trying to get on, it's one thing. When you get on, the whole struggle that you've already done, put that in a box for the new struggle, because now it's real. It's like a real struggle. Like you don't get to eat what you want, drink what you want, go where you want, because you're dealing with artists. And labels weren't really trying to, they were putting a lot of money into the artists, but the artists would get to the door and lose $500,000, and all kinds of money was lost.
Yeah,
because they didn't understand the business, and it takes a lot of. You have to be really mentally ready, and that's what I had to learn. One of the most powerful things that I've learned in my career is I can't want it more than the artist do.
Yes,
and I was putting money into the artist. I mean, I had a job, and all the money was going into the artist, clothes and shows, and making sure the artist development, recording studios, times, vocal coaches, dance rehearsals. I mean, I poured it all in. And when you do that, and you don't get when the deal comes in, and you see the contract, and the deal says $300,000, and then something happens, whatever happens in the artist's life, and then you don't get your money back. You took that hit, you're right back where you started from.
Exactly. After you put in all that work.
But it ain't. Because you just can't make someone, do what they do. You can't force on them, and it hurt because I sacrificed a lot of time, a lot
Family.
of effort, a lot of traveling, a lot of dealing with artists' parents. If they were struggling in this life and I was struggling in mine, my job was to make sure they weren't struggling,
Yeah.
putting them into it. I had one artist who had to pay for the prom and just, clothes and pay for rent because, the family be getting evicted and just a lot, and people say they want it, but now when they say they want it, I was like, okay, we'll see. We'll see. Because it's real. And the game is a lot.
There was one caveat. You met you had a million studios. You've had how many photo studios have you had, and recording studios as well?
In my career, 17.
Wow.
17. And every studio that I got, I never took out a loan from a bank. It was always my hustle and drive.
Yeah.
To get the studios that I wanted. And no one taught me this business. It was trial and error for learning. We didn't have anybody that was mentoring us.
Exactly.
You had to, when you got out there and you got a $5,000 a month studio and you got $10,000 in the bank and the landlord knows you got the 10,000. He's like, look, I don't care if I have to evict you 2 months later. I'm gonna get you $10,000. But you're not thinking like that. You're thinking, I got a studio, now I can work.
Right.
And, you make this money and you start making money, but you're basically giving the money right back. So what I learned from that is ownership. You got to own what you get so you can control it. So that 10,000 for 2 months, and 6 months, it was gone.
Wow.
And you take a hit and you get evicted. And Lord knows I done been evicted from enough studios to know I should become the eviction judge.
But who's laughing at the bank now?
Yes.
You're laughing all the way at the bank, to the bank, and from the bank.
There you go. Because the thing about it was that if there was a new camera that came out and the camera was $2,500 and your rent was $2,000, people called me crazy. I was like, you know what? To heck with the rent. I'm getting the camera.
You're gonna bet on the equipment. You're gonna take the long shot.
I took the long shot. I took all the risk. And that's when it goes back to the artist, that's what I'm saying. I took the risk. The artist didn't have to take the risk. I did it. All they had to do was sign their contract. But if they didn't sign their contract, the risk that I took, you get hurt from it.
So here's the thing. You went from taking risk on the behalf of other folks, and now you're taking risk on the behalf of yourself. So what was the day that caused you to leave New York and you actually were on your way to Miami because you were working along with another person that you partnered with on Focus Magazine? What was the transition and the shift there?
It was very painful because you got to remember, I was leaving my family in New York. My son, my daughter, my grandson, it was very painful because, you want to be with children, but other people's children.
Right.
So I had to figure out a way how to go home every week, because I didn't like the pain that I was feeling. When your child calls you and it's like, oh, I miss you, it's like painful. So I would do some photography, make some money and go home and then come back.
Yeah.
But leaving New York was probably one of the best things I did because remember, in New York as a photographer, and people don't understand, you're one of 20 million photographers who are all good. When I first came into was probably one of the first black photographers that was a hairstylist, makeup artist. See, that was back. That was back in the day. That wasn't heard of. So we walked, because remember, I left DC. You were still there, so I didn't have a makeup artist or a hairstylist. So I had to learn those things. So the important thing was leaving New York was now I get to transition, but I have the skill set now.
Yeah.
And the money that you make when you have a skill set.
Mm-hmm.
But it was painful. It was trying.
So strengthening the skill set. So here's the thing. Why were you on your way to Miami?
Oh, let's put it this way. New York was too daggone expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
I was on my way to Miami to work with another producer, a partner of mine.
Okay.
Who he had left New York a little bit before I left. And he got down to Miami and opened up a recording studio. And we had these big plans to do artists together because we've always had a great relationship. And the funny thing is, 16 years here today, and we're working on a project today. That's amazing. So I just never met in Miami.
Right. You all just said, my car broke down. I'm going to be in Richmond for a couple of days. Now, how long have you been in Richmond?
I've been in Richmond 10 years now. 10 years.
There it is.
And they say, man, what took you so long? I'm like, well, what took you?
I'm glad he caught the fight.
When you're fighting, see, people don't realize when you're in this entertainment industry and when you're a creative, you not only do you have things that you want to be and to aspire to be, but you also have to take care of yourself personally. Like you have to food on the table, a roof over your head. So I didn't care about those things when I was younger.
Right.
I was homeless for a while, so I didn't care. I knew what homeless was like. I've been homeless several times, but you just knew that you believed in yourself so much. And the thing is that you have to believe in yourself when no one else believes in you.
Exactly.
When you have to believe in yourself when everything in your life has failed. Everything. Because I figured like this. I was born with nothing. I'm going to die with nothing. But when I get to where I'm going, I've expressed everything inside of me creatively. I'll be happy when I go.
That was my question at the end. What is it that you want to attain before you die? And you just answered it.
Just to say that I'm empty. I tried and I used everything and every God-given ability from being a little child to growing up, because it's 365 days in a year. All those little lessons that I've learned from everybody I've ever come in contact with. You put all that forward. And when you go, it's like I tried to be a better person. I tried to help someone. And I tried to pass on the because the funny thing is, my children are now coming into this industry. Like my son's a photographer, my daughter's doing law, my grandson's playing sports.
Yeah.
And my son is doing photo shoots now. So
that's
the best
amazing.
Is to be able to, when he calls me, say, hey, Dad, I'm going to do a photo shoot. What lights can I use? I mean, think about it. No one was there to tell me those things that I was growing up, but I'm there to tell them.
So now you're.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I was going to say now you're able to start to build legacy.
Yes, and I try not to baby him or spoon feed him because I need him to make those mistakes. Because remember, I didn't go to college to be what I am today. I learned from trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't think there was anyone else like me until I got a little older. You start studying more, and then you start hearing about people that were successful because they didn't go to college, and then you realize the most successful people in the world are people that didn't go to college.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, that's interesting, very interesting. So here we are.
There was something that you said that I thought was extremely profound. Hi, Kevin White. You were having a challenge with your vision. And I'm not certain what was going on with your eyes, and
Hold on 1 second. I got another technical problem. I have to get the production assistant in here because we got an issue right now. Can you still hear me?
yes.
Okay, just hang with me 1 second. Stay with me 1 second.
Okay.
Because we're just trying to get this thing straight. You still with me?
I'm with you. I hear you. I see you, but you're frozen.
Hang on 1 second.
Okay. You good? You got a whole film crew over there. I can't stand y'all. My goodness. Listen, he will be back. He's gonna chime back in, but this is a little station break for us. When I tell you that it has been just an amazing journey of friendship and work and family together. Certainly, I would not have probably transitioned back into the film and television industry. I had left for a while, and by the time Darryl got to Richmond, he started buying more equipment, and he said, I'm building a film studio. And I said, nothing is going on in Richmond, sir. Why? Why are you doing this? Your camera's not on, sir, so you have to log back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna log back in.
So that being said, I went down. He sent me a script, and I said, okay, I'll read the script. And I said, okay, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna shoot for the day. And when I showed up, when I tell you that he had a full studio going on, a full film shoot going on, a full crew, and I was like, when did this happen? I've been hearing about it, but I had not seen it for myself. And as long as we have known one another and have been family, when I tell you, he didn't know that I was acting, or he didn't know that I could act. And so I said, can you give me an opportunity? I will audition. I don't want favorites. I just want an opportunity because I'm ready to work again. And what happened? To your surprise, what happened?
I was like, wait a minute, my sister's acting now? She really can act? Where did she learn to do all of this? You know, it was just like really, really, it was different because, you know, we've traveled this long journey, and then we've been separated for a while.
Yeah.
And you were doing your thing and I was doing mine. And when I became a film director, I didn't know you were acting, and you didn't know I was a film director.
Yep.
When we came together, it's like, well, our careers are still parallel.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's get back to work.
It's crazy. And so we and after we shot that weekend, Unbreakable Bond, I said, I'm just gonna stay here a couple of days. And we sat down and really said, now wait a minute, now what else is going on? And so we started doing something called the Acting House Workshop.
Yes.
The Acting House Workshop. We've been doing that now for what, 2 years?
Yes, 2 years. 2 years. Yep. We've been doing it for 2 years. And because remember, the movie I had cast 3 times over already.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a learning process for me as a director because as a DP, I was thinking like a DP. I wasn't thinking like a director.
Yeah.
So I started pulling actors in who were friends of, you know, people that I've met, you know, who looked like they had the part, but they really didn't want to be actors.
No.
And that was the first lesson I had to learn.
Yeah.
Because I've worked with a lot of actors before. But the thing you have to understand is that working with actors and knowing what they want to do, because some actors just want to be, most people always, when they meet me, they say, I can act. I say, okay, do the thing right now. Oh my God! Right now, what do you want me to do? I can't think of nothing. See, that's not what it is. It's like
No,
a
you
singer.
got the monologues ready. You got to be able to improv. You got to be able to work, honey.
Meet an artist. Artist says, "Well, I want to be a singer." You know, my next question is, sing something.
Sing.
And the minute they hesitate, it tells me you don't want to be no singer. You're
Exactly.
playing games. So don't waste my time.
Don't waste our time.
Don't did. Please don't. Because now and then, I cast that movie 3 times. I wrote that script, cast it 3 times, failed at it miserably 3 times. And then the 4th time came around, and that's when you had come down, and it's like, okay, now I know what to do.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here
About
we are.
the movie again. We've got some very talented actors that we've gotten from the workshop, because the workshop process tells us that they want to be actors.
That's right.
And we start maneuvering ourselves into putting it all together.
Now, in this dispensation, when you start to say film director and then you say Black film director, automatically people go to.
You already know.
You already know.
You already know.
In the face of all of the other successful Black film directors, what has been your challenge, and what are you working towards? Because you're essentially, we're still ahead of our time again in Richmond, doing the acting workshops, and you're filming more and more there, and they are developing a really good film community. And actually, Harriet, a lot of Harriet was shot there. What was the other film? Yeah, Lincoln.
The new one they just did, Bird, was it Bird? With Ethan Hawke. His movie is here. They shot that here.
Yeah.
Good Bird.
Yeah.
That shot here. So they do a lot of films here because it's a tax credit state for filming.
Exactly. So, what is it like being a fish in a little bitty pond? Because when we went to the film premiere, everybody who was in film in the Richmond and nearby areas was there, and they were looking at us.
Well, I mean, it's very humbling to have it that way, because you want to be recognized for your work. So we try to let the work speak for itself. And when you go to places, you don't really think like there are a lot of times that we've gotten together, we don't think that people are watching, but they are.
They are.
We're so caught up in just the work. It's like, let's do just good work. And we're not thinking about, how many likes we got on Facebook, how many likes we got on Instagram. None of that stuff matters to us.
Exactly.
From a time and a place where the work spoke what it was. Remember back when we used to carry portfolios?
Right.
So that's work. And once we get to places like, those events, it's not like we are looking for people to acknowledge us. We go to the event to acknowledge the other people.
Exactly.
See what talent they have. How can our company get with your company and do even more work?
Yeah.
But a lot of times you don't get people to open up to you, and then you get the 3 laws of the stress that hit you, the ego, arrogance, and suspicion. And then next thing you know, it's down to 2, but you got to keep pushing forward. It sucks, but, it's just humbling to at least keep trying.
So when the pandemic hit, it hit right in the middle of us planning the next acting house workshop. It hit in the middle of the shorts that we have been shooting. It just kind of halted production, not just with us, but everywhere.
Well, not with us.
Well, I was gonna say, what have you learned? We went right back to the initial principle. We're gonna make this happen. We got to figure this out.
My philosophy. when it gets hard, you do it harder.
Yeah.
You do it harder. So what we did was create 10 more acting workshops. Got a chance to develop them, write 10 new scripts, get a chance to develop them. And when this thing is over, just remember, in the film industry, it's about the film.
Yeah.
The more you have, because no one really. I mean, think about it. If you have to sit and write a film every time you say, you just one day you write a film and you shoot it. The next day you write a film and you shoot it. Well, imagine having 10 films already in a can, and all you have to do is shoot it when it's ready. So you don't have to spend time writing because it takes time.
Yeah.
The films are already written. All that stuff is done. It's already marked up. The script is already. All you got to do is get ready to shoot it. So you cut out half of the things that you need to do. So COVID just really set us down and said, "Hey, let's write more. Let's define. More. Let's put more detail in it." And then when the thing rips up, we got 10 scripts in the can. Let's go ahead and start shooting.
So you've been shooting music videos.
Yes.
You've been shooting commercials.
Yes.
And most importantly for the listeners and the viewers, guys, we have been doing the brains behind your brand. And so we do these day shoots where we do the photos and we get video clips for your intros and outros that you can put onto your social media, onto your web pages, onto your funnels if you have them, if you're selling a product or service. And those are the things that we have been doing actually in the midst of the pandemic. They're one-on-one, they're clean spaces. It's you for the day. And we focus in on you, focus in on your brand, and give you all of the visual and imagery collateral pieces that you need to go along with your content, which I am so excited about because we went to Atlanta a few months ago. And when I tell you that it was really difficult because we were dealing with our client and gave us tooth and nail, hard way go, and everything. But I tell you, when we showed up and Darryl pulled in that truck, that production truck, and pulled out all that film equipment, she said, "Oh my God." When I tell you that we took this lady from there to where she needs to be, and the other clients as well, it is such a great service to offer, because as we begin to move forward and we get more focused on being virtual, being digital in this age, we have to have those moving parts, those collateral pieces of good lighting, good sound, good photography, good imagery. And it goes hand in hand with your specialty, whatever it is that you do. So you want to talk a little more about that?
You pretty much covered everything that we've done. I mean, if you're going to be in any type of business, your brand is everything. And then just remember the new way to do things. For instance, the brand of the company, just remember you're the brand. You're the company.
Yeah.
The brand is you. The building is just the building, the structure and all. But you're the brand. You have to, people want you to look good. People want you to they want to associate an image of you. They want to be like you. They want to have a certain nostalgia about you. Yeah. So you're the brand. So, if you have a business, get it right, and it doesn't have to be perfect from the beginning. You just have to start. And that's what makes it work. And we had a great time out there in Atlanta. And the funny thing is, the best part about business is when your client contacts you and say, "I want to do it again."
Yeah.
That's when you know you're winning.
Exactly.
And have any problem saying, "Listen, you tell me the day, and we're gonna make it happen again." And they want it.
Yeah.
So if you're an actor, if you have a business, if you're a model, I mean, you're getting experience. Together we got I'm not going to say how many years of experience, but you're getting a lot of experience.
Exactly. A lot.
A lot. And we've always been ahead of our time.
Yeah.
That's it's the craziest thing to see people doing what they do now. And when you meet them, it's like they're doing it, and when they make a mistake, you see the mistake, so you can tap them on their shoulder, like you're going to make a mistake. And they're like, no, I'm not doing what I'm doing. And you say, okay, go ahead. And when they make that mistake, you call you on your phone. You know what? Can you help me out? I know you said it was going to happen, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but patience and all that stuff plays a key part to this thing. You know,
it does. It does. I'm excited about it. I mean, if there, pardon me.
I have a question for you.
Wait a minute. You can't interview the interviewer.
No, it's just a simple question because I've always wanted to ask the question to someone who is reading.
Yeah.
How many photo shoots do you think you've done in your career?
Wow.
Somebody asked me that the other day. It was just like
that's beginning. I don't know how to even count that because where would I start? I mean, wow. Hundreds.
Hundreds? How about thousands? You know,
not just me, but you talking about the other people as well?
I'm talking about how many photo shoots that you've been in, you've been involved in, you've taken.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, hundreds.
How many people you've styled, and it's like I turned in a camera, and you know when you turn in a camera, they can take a reading of how many pictures have gone through the camera.
Yeah.
It's like 4 million and something pictures.
4 million pictures?
4 million pictures.
Wow.
That's a lot of pictures.
4 million pictures.
Because you know, you multiply that by having a camera for 10 years. But you remember, I got to New York and everything started to go well. We were doing 7, 8 photo shoots a day.
A day.
A day.
Yeah. So
and you talk, you know, this is back when film was, you know, little camera film. You were running like 20 rolls of film camera for one person.
Exactly. Yeah. When I ask you about the word fame, what does that mean to you?
Absolutely nothing. Fame is okay to me, and it's just a personal opinion about it. I don't. Fame's okay. So it lasts 15 minutes.
Yep.
Then you got to try to struggle to see how you gonna get how you gonna get to the, as they say today. We call it making money. They say get to the bag. I was the first heard that, I was like, get to the bag. What bag you talking about?
Right.
But fame lasts 15 minutes, you know, and fame only takes you to a certain plateau of your life. Fame also brings out your ego, your arrogance, suspicion, and it can kill you if you're not grounded in the thing of your own spiritual essence.
Yeah.
You know, fame is that thing that's elusive. You'll get it, but it's gone before you know it because it's out of here. So it just doesn't have it's never had a mass appeal to me because an image is just an image. Right now I'm looking at doing photographs of women and gentlemen and whoever I photograph with absolutely no makeup on.
Yeah.
And I did a test shot with the stylist that I work with now, Shy Reed, an actress, and I did this image of her without any makeup on. And I was like, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
You know, no more false eye. Because remember, we were doing false eyelashes back 30 years ago. I was like, I don't want no false eyelashes on. I don't want this.
Right.
But fame is elusive, so you got to be careful with it. It only lasts 15 minutes. And as we say in the business, you know, it took me 15 minutes of fame, 50 years to get here.
15 minutes of fame took you how long?
50 years.
50 years?
50 years.
I don't know why you like numbers. I don't like numbers. So what if you were to have a conversation with your younger self, what would be said in that conversation?
Do it again.
Let's do it again.
I mean, everything that I've got has been an experience. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, not to somber things, but the depth of my parents, of my brother, I lost my entire immediate family.
Exactly.
So, you don't really know what you got until it's gone. But you have to survive. Like I survived the death of my mother. I survived the death of my father. I survived the death of my brother. I survived the death of one of my daughters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people don't know the story I've written. This is one of the first times I've ever really talked about it.
Yeah.
Because to me, it wasn't that important. I've been grounded in a root from a spiritual essence that when I did pick up a camera, it was almost like God Himself said, "I'm gonna put this in your hands." And if you don't believe anything else, just know that throughout your entire life, when I bring you home, I just need you to tell me that you did everything you possibly could do that I gave you. And that was really it.
When I
Because
say to you, finance, what does that mean to you?
if I'd have known what I know today, I would have probably, no, I can't even say that. Save some money. Don't forget to pay yourself. See, don't forget to pay yourself even when you're working at a job and you get a check to pay the bills. Because
Yeah.
most people pay the bills and they still don't pay themselves. But and that helps you save money. So think about it. If you took your check and paid all your bills and you don't pay yourself, the next check you still got to pay more bills. You're still not going to pay yourself. You put that by 20 years, you've never paid yourself. Then when a problem comes or opportunity comes, you can't invest in it. It's difficult. So if you make $100 and your bills come to 80 and you splurge 10, then put 10 aside. So that's the 10 you pay yourself. And if you do that enough, then when an opportunity comes, you're prepared. That's finance.
If you could have a talk with God and God said, I'll give you one thing on the list, what would it be?
If He said He'd give me one thing on the
One
list,
thing on your list of many things. He said, I'm going to do this one for you today. What would that be?
can I hit the repeat button?
You have an uncanny way. It's interesting because God always finds you. Always finds you. Whatever dilemma you have faced, God always finds you.
It's amazing. It's the most incredible thing I've ever gone through in my life. Those moments when you think, because a couple of years ago, my best friend committed suicide, shot himself and his whole family. He was a business partner of mine. He shot himself and his whole family.
Yes.
Another one of my best friends ended up passing away from sugar diabetes. And here's my philosophy. I'm at my best when I'm at my worst. See, for me, it's time to get to. See, people say, "Well, I'm on my grind." No, when people say they're on their grind, but when a problem hits, they stop grinding.
Yeah.
When I'm at my lowest, that's when the work starts. That's where the revitalization starts. When there's no way out, because most people just give up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because think about it. In our system of the world today, what's the biggest problem? Not having enough money.
Yeah.
But when you have stress and all these other social issues going on, people lose focus. The rent man gonna come, whether you got a problem or not. This goes back to finance. If your cell phone, which cell phones have become the most important thing there is in the world now, But when your cell phone is cut off, you stop remembering numbers. When it's cut off, some people, you lose your mind. It's like, oh my God, I can't reach anybody. See, our time to walk to the phone booth, the quarter in and the rain. Time, you know
You
what I
are
mean?
dating yourself again.
It's okay because I've come too far not to date myself, and I'm proud of the fact of it because it's experience.
Yeah.
It's just pure experience. But you just gotta, you gotta believe in yourself and you gotta know that you don't give me more you can handle because it's always gonna be your turn.
Yeah.
Part of me, people go, they crying about this. Listen, your turn is coming, and when your turn,
Indeed.
don't turn it back. So do all you can do now. Make up with your best, with your worst enemy if you have to. You ain't got to be friends with them. Just make up with them.
Wow. Let
You
me
know.
ask you, what do you feel your desire for Hollywood is now?
I never really tried to get to Hollywood. All I wanted to do really was just, first of all, I wanted to get out of the situation I was in, but I never wanted to get to Hollywood. I just want to be able to allow my children to see that through everything I've ever gone through, that the possibilities are endless. The impossible is possible. Because your father, he did it through the turmoil
Yeah.
and nothing too great. You're not beyond anything else on this planet. But when you can see an example of strength and resilience and dedication and motivation, because I'm self-motivated. People always looking out to the outside for everything they want. See, but I look inside,
Yeah.
and that's what I was able to survive.
Wow.
I know the difference between right and wrong. I'm not perfect. I've had my mistakes. I've had my bad times, but you always get a chance to make up for it.
You do indeed. I'm going to end with this. This has been amazing.
Yes, yes. You got me
Vision,
now.
vision versus sight. We scaved over it. I wanted to talk about when you were having the issue with your eyes, and the doctor was saying that you were going to lose your vision, and you said, "Well, I work with my eyes." So there was definitely a scare there, and you said something very interesting to me that was a complex but a simple statement. You said, I don't need if I lose my eyesight, I will never need my eyesight because I have vision. Speak to that.
And that goes back to just the belief in yourself. You know, all the memories that I've had in my life are the story that if my sight were to go dark right now, I would sit in a corner and I have enough memories for 3 lifetimes. Where probably all I need to do is just eat, but everything else would be simply in my mind. I could think about all the memories I've had, the people I've met. I can think about my enemies. I can think about my friends. I can think about the fights I've had, the arguments I've had. I mean, you're talking like a lifetime of things for the things that you've gone through. So, you really don't need sight when you have vision. And then you have this thing inside your heart that makes the vision come to life. Because because you still have your voice and you can always use someone else's vision and sight. And see, it's nothing, and I tell people all the time, you can never have enough good friends, family, and people that you can trust. Because when you got people, if you lose your sight today, I know that I can call my son or my daughter or their mother and tell them, you know, we're at this point now.
Yeah.
I can paint the picture for you, and all you got to do is put the pieces in place. one of my good friends today said something very interesting. He said the kind of work we do is we put the pieces to the puzzle together first, and then we paint the picture on the puzzle.
That's new.
I was like, wow, it's very interesting. Ellis
Yeah.
Allen, LSD Studios, Miami. He's a good dude. He's an audio sound. He does producing. He's a photographer now. He's doing some beautiful work as a photographer with the Miami sun. When you look at the landscapes of the sun and the water, I got to show you guys some of his work. It's beautiful, and I'm going to be representing him and selling some of his artwork. He does. I don't want to tell you what it's going to look like, but I want to send you to his site. So stay tuned on, the website so you can check out what he's doing. It's the most beautiful work you could see, and it's so uniquely different. It's very unique, very unique. And I'm going to wake up to his artwork on my wall at the head of my bed every day.
That's amazing. I can't wait till we get back at it again and bring someone else to life. So we will be doing photo imagery days when November. We're in Atlanta the week of, what is that, November the 19th, 20th, and the 21st.
Correct.
So you can always send me a DM, A.Renee Cooper, and let me know, because we will be in the A and we will schedule you in. We have procured some studios there, and we will be shooting and getting your looks together. I'm going to put some things up on my page. Of course, you've seen some of my images, but it's some other stuff that we've done with other clients that's really, really good looking that you'll love. And then we're also going to do the DMV area and Richmond as well. So the month of November, the first 3 weeks in November, hit us up because we're going to be available. And we would love to work with you. Absolutely.
And I would just like to say to anyone that's watching now that I've had the opportunity to work with, if they're tuned in right now, and those of you, I just want to thank them for allowing me to photograph them throughout our years. If you're listening in, just thank you for allowing me and A.Renee to be your image makers, because I want to thank the people that have got me here. There are a lot of people I could thank. Cherry, I want to thank you for the years of music experience. Your family and my family, your mom is my mom. We have a very strong knit, relationship.
Yeah.
This new stylist that I have right now, Shy Reed, she's become a tremendous actress. You've got to see her in some of this work that we're doing.
Yes.
Girl is, I remember she first walked into the acting workshop, scared.
When Shy Reed came to the acting workshop the first time and she left, I said, Darryl, and here's what this, as the acting coach, this is what I ask. What's going on in your life? Do you really want this? Because we don't like to work with people that aren't going anywhere. Because our idea is that we want to be able to capture you, we want to be able to pour into you, and we want to also help you with opportunities. Because Darryl started pulling out the Rolodex, the old school Rolodex, and calling the folk in the good New York and the good LA and the good casting directors and the good talent management and so forth. So we wanted to send people forth that were going to come through. And so when I saw Shy, I had to sit down with her, and that's part of the acting house workshop as well, to find out what's going on in your life. We figure out, how can you get the right job that you can work around that's flexible? How can you operate your family to help with your kids? so that you can go to auditions. Because if you're good, we're sending you, but you've got to be able to go. And this young lady, I mean, she would just show up to the acting workshop and be a reader for someone else that was coming. And it wasn't even her turn.
Yes. Yes.
And when she gets on the screen, she brings it. And she has such an authentic performance without any extensive training. I mean, like Juilliard and, you know, A-lister acting coaches and so forth. That's not even her background. But when I tell you, this woman can take a script and own it and get in that character, and it's believable quickly. It's scary. It's scary.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm telling you.
And
Yes, sir.
I've got to say, now, I know you are into what you do, but I'm going to say this about you and your talent. It's a masterpiece.
Wow.
I've watched you grow up. You know, I watched you grow to the person that you are. You know, I've seen multiple sides of your talent. I like and the thing about the actors that we have now is that I watch you bring this out of them. I watch you take the fear out of them in order for them to transition into who their character is. You know, from your coaching standpoint, you're one of the best coaches in the marketplace today.
Wow.
Because you have a humbleness to the people that you teach and you care about them. I've been in this game a long time, and of course, you know, we need more than an hour to tell my entire story because I can give details of the people. You know, I don't like to name drop.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you bring out something in these actors that I'm going to call you the female Spike Lee of this time. Because
wow.
He brought Denzel, he brought Wesley Snipes, he brought, you know, Lawrence Fishburne, you know, just all these guys. And, you know, you can, everyone has a place. You've got to start from somewhere. You have to. There's no way you're going to be successful if you don't start from somewhere. But you definitely start them from somewhere. And I just want to thank you for that. And thank you for being on the road and coming to Virginia an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And just, you know, that says a lot. That says a lot.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you for that, and that I love you for that. I love you for just you, my sister.
You the brother from another mother. What you gonna say? We family. You stuck with me. I'm telling you, I have missed working. I've missed the acting house workshops. I've missed watching the actors come in and do phenomenal work. So I am truly ready to get back going. So, you know, those of you who are interested, then, like I said, DM me. You can go to dipglobalmedia.com and put your information in there, and we'll respond. Send an email there. Just reach out to us. We're social media. He's DIP Global Media. I'm A.Renee Cooper on social media. But that being said, hit us up. You know, we don't do tons of promotion like I would like to, because Darryl's like, no. I'm like, listen, we need to be so-and-so. Come on. So I'm the sister that pushes, for real. But, you know, that being said, it's been a pleasure. It's always good. I'm so glad that you agreed to bump out of your shell, break out of your box, come from behind the camera and let people meet and greet you. Because, you know, I think the work that we do is just phenomenal. Sometimes we sit and watch the playback in the edit suite, and sometimes the work is so good, we sitting up there almost crying like, oh my God, this is good. think, interestingly enough, I think we love the work itself, outside of, getting paid or letting it be seen, letting go to a festival or what have you. Just the act of the work is where we fall in love. So I think that when you bring that type of intensity to a set, the people that get in front of the cameras and do the work, they can't be anything but pleased. They can't be anything but successful, and it gives them an opportunity to go further with their goals. So, with that being said, I am so excited. We are an hour and 45 minutes. You have broken my record. You've broken my record for a person that didn't want to come on live.
So I made up my mind that today I'm going to give you all that I can give you because you've done so much for me. So I'm here for you today, and to make sure that I cover that fact that you've been in my corner. You've been to every state I've ever lived in.
Yep.
Every state. We've done photo shoots in a lot of states, and you've been in every state. And
so
all that.
Remember when we got snowed in Albany, New York, with Beverly?
Yes.
So guys, what happened was I had designed this collection, and so we had Cherry. She needed a photo shoot for her album cover, and so I had a model, one of my dear friends, Beverly Gill, who used to model, and so all of us, we all go up to Albany. Darryl lived there, and Cherry lived there. And so we, in January of all months in Albany, New York, youth, and we get snowed in for a week.
No, like
I mean, snowed as in blizzard snow.
Yes, I
and
remember
we
that.
stayed in and worked and did photo shoot after photo shoot after photo shoot the entire time.
We work. Snow, rain, sleet, hail. Bring it. What y'all gonna do?
It's
Are you gonna say,
crazy.
or y'all gonna come in and get what you gotta get and do what you gotta do? This is it.
Well, I want to end with this. Next year, when the pandemic lifts and we're able to actually gather, I am going to have a big shindig that is going to be a homecoming. I want to see people like all of you who have known me over decades. And, I want to be face to face. I haven't seen Cherry in years with an SSS. And so many other. Andre in Detroit, who's doing filmmaking and producing now, who was one of our models years ago. It's amazing. And so many others that I can't begin to name names and forget others. But, that being said, it has been exciting. And, I don't feel anything about the decades and the age resting on me. It's like I've been re-energized. I'm so excited. Everything is fresh and new, and I'm ready to do it all over again. Like you said, I want to repeat.
Yes, and just to let people know, there's a new artist that we're working on, Katrina Rochelle.
Yeah.
You go check out her new single, "What's a Girl to Do."
Yeah.
Me and my friend Ellis, one of my partners here, Ellis from Ellis Island Studios. ICU2 is his IG. Got to check him out. We just shot another music video for her. Katrina Rochelle. She's got a hot single that's out. She's got a beautiful voice. I need you guys to comment. Go to YouTube and check it out. Tell me what you think. They're trying to bring me back into the music industry, but I'm fighting that as much as I can.
Don't you go back into the music industry? We need you in the film industry.
Right now, I just help them organize their packages and keep it moving. But she's a beautiful, talented young lady, and definitely check her out, Katrina Rochelle. You can Google her name, and all the songs will pop up. And just let us know what you think.
So why don't you do this? If you can put the link on my Facebook page,
Okay.
And then that way I can repost it and folks can get to the link that way because they won't remember the name and everything like that. So if you can put the link in my my Facebook page, then at least they can collect the link and hear. Artists are really, really good. Oh my goodness, you're gonna love it. Well, D,
Yeah.
we're done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, watching. For the replay viewers who watch this at a later date, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to DM me at A.Renee Cooper on all social medias. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Hit me up and let me know what you need imagery wise. And we'll probably have a flyer up in a couple of days because we are taking, we have some spots still open for Atlanta and Richmond as well, and then the DMV. And let's see what else. I will see you next week. Next week, woo! Next week is going to be for the grown folks. Oh my God. I'm not even going to tell y'all. Next week is definitely going to be for the grown folks, and you want to tune in. I am talking to, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not even going to spill it. We confirmed her as a guest today. I'm so excited, and it is going to be on and popping. So with that being said, guys, have a wonderful week. Please, please, please vote, vote, vote. Make sure that you go and get to the polls by Tuesday. And here's one caveat. If you were going to mail in your vote and you have the papers and the information to do your mail-in vote in your home and you haven't sent it yet, please take it to a voting station and let them put it in the box. If you put it in the mail or take it to the post office, it will not get there in time and your vote will not be counted. And that's not being said on any news that I've been hearing. So that being said, please vote this weekend. I won't tell you how to, but please know that your vote counts and it's important. It is. So we can move forward with our country. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Have a great weekend. God be with you. God be for you. God be in you. And God be camped around you. I love you, and I will see you next week. God bless.